Okay, good to see you guys. Appreciate you being here. Had a little time through the weekend. Obviously, we played Thursday night, so we've been back through that game. And then started studying the Browns on Friday and got some time doing that over the weekend also, and also some good family time for the coaches and players. Players have been away. They'll be back in tomorrow. We'll be on our normal week schedule starting tomorrow afternoon. And that's where we're at. What do you have?
John, I hate to start with injuries, but two guys that had concussions, Stanley and Ward, are they better now, or are they still under protocol?
They're in the protocol still, so we'll see where they're at.
I'll follow it up then in a different one. You guys could have gotten a top seed, had a couple of things happen to you late yesterday. Is there any positive to actually going out there and doing it yourselves out on the field?
I haven't thought about that, really. I mean, just we expect to have to do it ourselves. I mean, that's what you expect to do. You're not sitting there counting on anybody to do anything for you. I think that's the way it needs to be done. We plan on winning both the next two games, so that's how we're going to be working and approaching it. And it's really our job to go out there and earn whatever we get.
John, Terrell Suggs is on waivers. Is he a guy you would be interested in replaying?
Like you said, he's on waivers, so why don't we just wait and see what happens with that? There's really nothing to comment on.
John, in looking back at the tape of the Week 4 game against the Browns, is it sort of an unpleasant experience looking at it? I mean, like what jumps out from what went wrong in that game?
You look at it from a football standpoint, Giles, just what they did, what we did or didn't do, and try to apply it to this game, what we might get or might not get schematically, and how we match up, things like that. You look at it that way, practically.
They scored 40 on you in that game. You guys have since changed the defense dramatically. Is that, obviously you look at the scheme, but do you feel that obviously you're a better defense since that game back in September?
Yeah, we're clearly a better defense. I mean, how we do against them this time remains to be seen. I mean, that'll be up to us. We'll have to play a lot better than we did in that game, obviously, to hold them down.
John, on the kickoff coverage, people will say, outsiders, will say, why don't they just kick it through the back of the end zone every time? How much more difficult is that this time of year when it's cold, weather's in, and you get field conditions may not be as good as they were in September?
Yeah, just look at the numbers. It's hard to kick it out. The ball's colder. It doesn't carry the same. Like you said, the field isn't quite as firm. So if it was that easy, we'd have done it.
I feel this team needed some of the rest. Obviously, when you left us, you said that he'd get healthy, rested. Was this a good period and maybe a good time to come off a Thursday night game?
Well, everybody gets a Thursday night game. The Buffalo Bills had one coming into our game. I think that was, it's good to get those extra days of rest and all that. So we get it this week. Browns probably had it. I don't know when they had it, but it's all definitely a positive. I think for us, for any team, it's a plus to get a little bit of time to get healed up, and get rested up a little bit. And we'll have to come back and get sharp and make sure we practice really well and just get ready to play the game on Sunday. But I would say all in all, it's a benefit, yeah.
John, when you looked at the tape, the stuff that you didn't like on the defensive side and in special teams, when you looked at it, was that stuff you feel confident that can get cleaned up moving forward?
Yeah, absolutely. Definitely. Yep.
John, there was an NFL Network report, I think, over last game saying that if your seeding is set, you can't improve on the last game, that you're going to sit Lamar. Have you decided on any plans on, if you win Sunday, you clinch the number 1 seed? Have there been any plans looking at possibly that?
No. Of course, I think about it, but no plans have been made. I'll just decide that when the time comes. Like I said, we're not there. When we get there, we'll be there, and we'll go from there. You like that, Giles? I see. Yeah.
Coach, Nick Chubb leads the NFL in rushing. Get to talk about, the pride he possesses both as a power guy and also a guy who can, take it to the house and the importance of trying to hold him down in this game.
Yeah, he's one of the best. He's the leading rusher in the National Football League. got a pretty good sidekick. They're both in the backfield together quite a bit. They block for one another. They run routes and flare passes and screen passes out of the backfield quite a bit. They'll line up at wide receiver. They'll run out perimeter screens with them. They'll run them upfield on routes, both of them. I think, Nick, to your question, is a big, strong back. He's exceptionally fast. I mean, he's, 4'3" guy, right? He's very quick-footed. He's 227, 230 pounds. One of my favorite backs coming out in the draft that year. I think he was my top back. Just saying, really liked him. And, he's a legit player for sure. So is Hunt. They both are. I mean, this is a very talented offense, to your point. This is Baker Mayfield's very talented, can make all the throws, very elusive in the pocket, can run the RPO system really well also. They have excellent receivers. They got some really good pass-catching tight ends and a big, strong offensive line. So that's a talented group.
Speaking of running backs, Mark Ingram, 14 touchdowns and really an influence in the locker room. Has he really been even more than you might have expected having added him to the team?
Yeah, I would say everything we hoped for, for sure. I mean, I didn't know his personality as much, I didn't really know how boisterous he was and how outgoing he was. So to see all that's been fun, it's really been fun to be around. He really gets it. He knows how to treat people, knows how to, practice. He got a lot of energy at practice. He bolsters everything we're trying to do that way, weight room. Obviously plays with great passion. I mean, great passion and great energy, very physical. You see him, you know what I'm talking about there. So, yeah, I would say all those things are as good as you could hope for.
A guy that kind of goes under the radar. When they talk about defense and how you've improved and added some players, Jihad Ward a lot of people don't bring up. How important has he been to the defensive upswing?
Yeah, I think he's been really important. I mean, he's a good fit for us, and for whatever reason, maybe he wasn't as good a fit in some of those other places, but there's another guy that we really like coming out, and one of the things was he fit us, our structure, and he plays so hard. He plays really, really hard, and he runs to the ball. He's tough. He's physical. His motor just doesn't quit. So that's the kind of guys we like. And he's been a great addition.
John, it seems like James Hurst had a pretty solid game there Thursday. I guess, what was your take on how he performed? And I guess, with him having those midseason injuries last year, having the offseason to get right, how much has that helped him improve from where he was?
Yeah, probably tremendously helped him. Obviously he works so hard. I mean, James is a 100% worker, and having the back spasms and all that kind of stuff last year, it really takes that away. It's kind of a position where you got to have your back. You got to be strong. You got to have your legs. And it seemed like he went into the game and just didn't miss a beat. Played really well, protected Lamar. It was a good run blocker. Our offense really didn't lose anything with him out there, which is what you hope for. And there really aren't. To me, there are no backups in the National Football League. There's no such thing as a backup because when you get out there, you're expected to play winning football. You've got to play starter level football. There's not that many players, so he did that. And that's what we were hoping for, and he did a great job.
All right.
Well, good. All right, thanks. Appreciate it.